New England meteorologist Serena Arnold. Hello, all to my weather weenies. Let's talk about this next storm that's coming in on Saturday, talk about snow totals and some timing of events. I am not here to tease you. Let's get right to these graphics that show how much snow we can expect. So looking at like Plymouth further north is the 6-inch plus range. South of there's going to be a little snow, but we're going to have rain coming in right after it. So however much snow you see down south isn't really going to matter. There is going to be like a slush gradient factor though, right? So where it's like out in Portsmouth and the seacoast, probably get enough rain to melt all the snow they get, but you're going to see that transition as you head further north. So whether you're going to get just rain that melts all your snow, you're going to have 2 inches of cement when it's all said and done with, or over a foot of snow. Take a look at this map. Here's the same map for Vermont and upstate New York. Do a little zoomy on Vermont for you so you can see, but it's the usual suspects. And you're in southern New England, this is so horribly grainy, good Lord. It's just not an event for you. We don't have a graphic yet for Maine, like way up north Maine, because they're still dealing with the snow that just came through and wrapping up of that. So the graphic they have published is the one that expires today. We're going to have to check tomorrow morning to see what they're expecting for snowfall totals there. Now, winter storm advisories are in place all across northern New England from like upstate New York through Maine. This section is a great one to read, but it does include, and it says it may be a tier of zones too far to the south, but given the uncertainty in track and also the fact that we're only in the watch phase, we thought a watch area was in the best interest at this time. So that southern row of counties is basically just precautionary. They're not completely bought in yet on that. Forecast models still do have differences in intensity and speed of this storm. Southern areas are definitely going to see rain, and it could even be like flood quantity rain. Weather Service also has this graph which talks about the probability of over 8 inches of snow with this storm. So obviously the further north you go, the further that is, but they are highlighting this area of some potential ice indicated here. So let's take a look at a weather graph for like a northern zone, a central zone, and a southern zone that's going to be seeing snow. So we're going to stay in New Hampshire, but we can extrapolate these a little bit. So here's the forecast for like Rangeley, Maine. So temperatures are cold, starting off in the teens for sure. Seeing that snow picking up early Saturday morning. If you're further west of that, like northern, especially northern Vermont, that's definitely going to be starting earlier. So snow throughout most of the day, tapering off in the evening for Rangeley. Once again, if you're further west, tapering off a little bit earlier than that. Temperatures really only getting up to the mid-20s. And after that snow starts to come down, the winds are going to be picking up. Seeing that wind chill is actually going to be falling below zero early Sunday morning. For Central, I wanted to look at something a little further north in Concord, so we're looking at Tilton here. So temperatures in the upper 20s actually rise up to the 30s. You see the wind picks up after the fact. Snow, rain, snow, and if we scroll down, they're even showing these opportunities for a mix, sleet, freezing rain. This is all hovering plus or minus around noon. For a more southern zone, we're looking at like the latitude of Nashua, where temperatures start out right around freezing, are going to pick up to the upper 40s. Same thing, starting to snow early on Saturday, but really getting a good amount of rain after the fact. Maybe a little bit of snow on the back end of it, but nothing that's going to be significant. Winds coming up a little bit, and the temperature does drop a lot, seeing the wind chills down here in the teens come Sunday morning. So looking at the forecast models, here we are at, this is 3Z, so 11 p.m. on Friday night, and going into early Saturday morning. And as we step through, you see how it's a lot of snow in the beginning. So if you're going to be traveling anywhere, and you're in upstate New York, anywhere in Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine on Saturday morning, definitely looking for some slick conditions. Seeing that transition move over, this is 18Z, where we're seeing ice overtaking the southern and central parts of the state. 18Z, oh my gosh, I've got to do math again now. Okay, so that would be 2 p.m., and then as we slide through, just watching how the rain is going to be really, really heavy, potentially flood stages, which we could talk about a little bit more in like Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, looking for some heavy rain there. But the good news is here we are 3Z, so this is 11 p.m. on Saturday night, seeing things really start to move out of here and definitely gone by Sunday, but windy behind it. So looking at just a 1-to-10 ratio for the snow, you can see what we're looking at for snowfall totals. Don't forget, though, that for southern areas, like from here south, you're going to get a lot of rain over top of that. And the further south you are, the more that's going to erode and get rid of the little bit of snow you have. But if you just want to take a look and see what the map is looking like, this is what we got. Kuchera ratios showing it's going to be a drier, colder snow to the north and being a lot more bullish on snow totals the further north we go. And this is the one I don't like. This is freezing rain QPF, just showing you with those areas that are most likely to see most of that freezing rain. Tomorrow we'll be able to check out this entire event according to the HER model, which, as you guys know, is a little bit has finer granularity to it, so you can see more detail, and it helps to iron out just a few more specifics. So we'll give you an update on that tomorrow.